what's up, my little tattletales? Yo, come in and shut the door. Listen, the gloves are off when it comes to Khloe and Tristan, and Kris Jenner has entered the chat. And baby, you know Kris does not play. Now listen, there's an article that was just leaked. Listen, let me give y'all the plot real quick. Kris Jenner is done pretending she likes Tristan. She has literally moved into Khloe's house to keep Khloe from humiliating herself again. But get this, Khloe is about to go to war with Tristan, but Tristan, being the narc he is being spiteful and petty. Y'all, let's get into it, because Tristan said, baby, you must be out of your mind. This custody case is far from resolved. Now, let me just say this before we get into it. First of all, hit that like, subscribe button, you guys. I'm almost at 100,000. Help me get to that hump. Also, Real Housewives of Atlanta, the old review is up. The new review, my members only live. You know what is all this. Come on. There's stuff on my channel. Go check it out. But let's get into why everybody but Khloe saw this coming, and why that weird article that Tristan released saying he paid off Marley Nichols and he's paying child support now. And I was like, Tristan's up to something. Now we see what it is. You guys, as much as everybody was saying, oh my God, Khloe just wanted 2 kids from the same father, the one thing that everybody was trying to explain to y'all, and the one thing that everybody overlooked, is they are 2 kids by the same father. The father has some rights, right? You got this fool in your life with 2 kids for the rest of your life, and he can make problems just because we all know, allegedly, Tristan seems to be a little narc, and he loves making life difficult for Khloe whenever she shows a backbone, right? Think about it. You got 2 kids. You released this story early saying that you were going to take full custody. Tristan now has fought back, and he literally is arguing over. Now, here's the one thing I don't understand. One, why is the family so mad at Tristan? You know, let's get into this article, and I'll give my thoughts during the article, because I'm like jumping the gun, and there's so many things y'all need to hear about. But baby, if Khloe thought she had problems keeping Tristan from cheating and him humiliating her, just wait till that POS starts using those kids as a tool. And it looks like he's always started, because let me tell you something. Yeah, he's now contesting the custody, but that don't mean he care about the kids. Tristan don't give a damn about none of his kids, at least as far as I see. He really thought he'd be the fun dad that can flow in, breeze out, see the kids like a puppy, play with the puppy, take them from a walk, and they go on. Now we're seeing that's not the case. Khloe, via Kris Jenner, is trying to put her foot down, and Tristan was like, no, ma'am. Let's get into this mess, because y'all, you just gotta see it. Listen, now, a lot of tidbits, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this article, so please pay attention. All right, so the article starts. Kris Jenner is 100% behind Khloé Kardashian's decision to raise her son solo. Independent woman, keeping up the Kardashian matriarch, Kris Jenner became a grandma once again when her daughter Khloe welcomed her second child via surrogate early this month. Now get this. They go on to say Kris is in love with the baby, and she is 100% behind Khloe's decision to raise her son solo. Now get this. They go on to say Kris has 0 tolerance for Tristan. Okay? She is giving Khloe all the emotional support. Heavy emphasis on all the supports she needs, right? The emotional support, financial, whatever, she needs to adjust to being a new mom again. Now get this. They say Kris is 100% behind Khloe's decision to raise the baby solo. As far as she's concerned, Tristan isn't welcome in her family. Now, one thing we have to pause about this. Why is everybody, if all the rumors were true, that Khloe and Tristan were in fact not together, and Tristan just wanted to have basically a donor and raise the kid single, everybody loved Tristan, at least publicly, 2 months ago, talking about what a great co-parent he was. Kris Jenner was hugging him and taking him to lunch. So what changed? I'll tell you what changed. Tristan was in Greece. Now, what's the big deal if they're not together? Him being in Greece and being with another girl. Exactly. Because they were together. Now, all of a sudden, she hates Tristan guts. Now, let's just say this. Khloe was the one that's been pushing the narrative for the longest time that Kris is a great guy, great father, and she literally wants to live in a dream world where everybody thinks she has a perfect relationship. I think when things blew up in Greece, she couldn't hide it from her family anymore, how much she was being humiliated and how she was in a mentally abusive, alleged, well, at least from what I see, narcissistic or relationship with somebody with narcissistic tendencies. Again, what changed in 2 months when they were just co-parenting? And if Khloe and him weren't together, they obviously were together. Okay, now that we got that out, right? It also said Kris has freed up some time to spend time with Khloe. In fact, she's been practically living in Khloe's house. 2 things. What does that tell me? The family is so scared that Khloe is going to go back to Tristan and fall into that abuse pattern again, that her mother has literally put work and everything at home and moved in with Khloe so that Khloe can feel supported and loved, and they can also form a boundary around Khloe and make sure Tristan doesn't crawl back in with like, oh my God, let's play family again, right? Now, where are we going? The former couple also share their daughter True. They announced they're expanding their family in July. They said we can confirm True will have a blah, 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 blah. It's blessing. However, listen to this. Khloe and Tristan are not back together and have not spoken since December outside of co-parenting matters. We know that's a lie. Now get this. There's a little bit more. Hold on. Now here's the interesting thing about this, right? Get this. They are now saying that Tristan has finally met the baby. And they said that now her and Tristan are trying to reach a custody agreement behind closed doors. You guys, this is the real dirt. Because Khloe put out a bunch of articles saying that it's been decided 5 days after birth that Khloe was going to have full physical and full legal custody. However, she didn't run this by Tristan. Now, here's the thing I will say. Tristan don't give a damn, in my opinion, about any of his kids. He is doing this to be petty and vindictive. But that's what happens when you have kids with a petty and vindictive man. The fact that they are oddly enough trying to act like the custody arrangement with the son is different than what he has with True. Also, I firmly believe they actually don't have a formal arrangement with True, because as much as they want to put out a different narrative, Khloe and Tristan were together 75 to 85% of the time as far as being in a relationship. So Tristan got to come when he wanted, leave when he wanted. There was no reason for a formal custody agreement. Now with this child, right? Khloe is trying to X Tristan out of her life, or at least Kris Jenner is living with her, making her push Tristan out of her life. I think that's more like it. She's going to be Khloe's backbone until Khloe can grow her own. Ain't no shame with that. That's what family is there for, to be your backbone until you can grow your own, right? Good for them. I'm glad somebody's stepping in and stopping this abuse cycle. However, when you think about it, this is really the first time they have squared up for child custody, right? And Khloe, for whatever reason, thought she was going to bring a child into the world with a narcissist, and Tristan was just going to what? Let it go, wish her luck. Tristan, anybody that know, and again, I'm assuming Tristan's a narcissist based on his behavior, all right? But let's just say this, based on Tristan's behavior, every single time Khloe tries to get a backbone or leave, he erupts. Remember when she tried to get a backbone and he literally flaunted that girl all over Greece and publicly humiliated her, wasn't around, did this, did that, and he thought he could still come back. Kris Jenner's there, and now it's like, you're not welcome in our family. Too much has happened, right? So what's the next way that he can hurt her? I'll tell you how. By literally, even though he doesn't want shared custody, by going to war with her and using the kids as a tool to hurt her and to put her in place, and hopefully hope that she crawls back and wants a family with him. Again, for everybody that said that it was a good idea to have a second child with somebody like this without having, and this also lets you know that they were together. That's why there was no formal custody agreements. This wasn't a sperm donor issue. This was literally a relationship, a horrible abusive relationship that went wrong. Now get this. They said, and here's the last thing I want to say. They said Khloe's fine about him seeing his son, but at the end of the day, she wants primary custody, saying that Khloe is willing to battle it out in court. Khloe, you should have never said that. You should have acted like, yeah, babe, whatever you want, we can share custody. Because one thing about people that are like that, they are spiteful. He seems to have narcissistic tendencies. He will drag you to the pits of hell just to see you pay, see you hurt, and don't got no intention of seeing the kids. You would have been better off just having an open door policy. But I think before what's going on is Khloe is so furious at Tristan, as she should be. And she got her mom there being a backbone. Man, this is a mess. Listen, get this. The only conversations Khloe and Tristan have are about his kids. Obviously, Tristan wants to be involved in his son's life, but things are still incredibly frosty between him and Khloe after he got Marley pregnant. It's a very complicated situation because Tristan feels strongly about co-parenting, but Khloe wants to raise him alone. So now Tristan, this little demon child, is starting the narrative that Khloe wants to keep him away from his kids. And you guys, it clicked in my head. That's why he started paying Marley child support. Because if you are going to court to battle somebody for parenting, whether it's out of spite or love, I don't know, it could be either one, right? I'm voting for spite. What's the one thing that Khloe can hold over Tristan's head? You don't even support the kids you got. That's why he caught up on child support, because Tristan is also getting his ducks in a row to go to war with Khloe. And now that Kris is saying that Tristan's not invited in the family and he can no longer be an unofficial Kardashian, he's like, oh no, somebody got to pay. And he's looking right at his clown saying, baby, it's you. The only difference is, right, Khloe is sitting there saying, baby, I'm no longer a clown. What, mom? And I don't care what you say. What else, mom? But you know what? Kudos to Kris Jenner to finally stepping in and doing what needs to be done with your child. When you see somebody you love being abused and not being a backbone and a jellyfish, Tristan should have never did Grease, because he went a step too far, because he enjoys going to Kardashian gatherings. He enjoys the fame of being like, hey, Coco, hey, Kendall. He enjoys that fame. But with Grease, he went a little bit too far. Khloe couldn't hide him anymore. Kris Jenner got wind of it and said enough, and she's shutting things down. Baby, let's see how this ends. I hope Khloe finally breaks free of Tristan. Not because Khloe's such a good person, she's a little demon herself, but because nobody deserves that type of abuse. But you know what? Honestly, my money's on Tristan right now, because Kris, you can be her backbone as much as you want. Someone doesn't leave those type of relationships until they're 100% ready to leave. They better hope and pray Khloe is 100% ready to leave. But I will just say this also. Khloe, you had a baby. You had a baby with someone that was a POS, that plays these games, that is vindictive, maybe narcissistic, baby. What did you expect? That's why everybody's warning you. Why did you double down and have a second baby? Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.